Alright guys, how you all doing? Happy Easter, or 420, whatever you want to call this day as. So I'm out at my grandparents' ranch for Easter. There's one of my grandpa's fields down there, and there's one over there. He hasn't planted them in a couple years though, because he's getting to the age where it's just too hard on him anymore. But I figured I'd come video this 85, I think he said, F-150. It's an F-150 XL. Under the hood, it's got a 300 straight 6, and the interior's trash like most farm trucks. But oh Jesus Christ, it's got a 4-speed. Let's see, it was first, okay. And let's see, what first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Wait, no, I did that wrong. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. There we go. And then there's also 4-wheel drive down here. Top speed at 85 because of the restrictions in 85. You got a bunch of stuff down here. Got the fuel pump switch for switching tanks, since these had 2 tanks. Looks like the mirror came off. There's some other stuff. Now, for those of you who are Ford enjoyers, you will know, I need a new mirror. This is known as the bullnose generation of F-150. This one has seen some better days. It's got a nice grill guard on the front though. Honestly though, the paint's not all that bad. It's definitely faded. There's no more clear coat. But I mean, there's some body molding parts that are falling off. It's a little rusty, but the actual frame, most of this is just surface rust. Like, I think the actual frame is actually in pretty good shape. I mean, I don't see anything that's necessarily super, like, rusted out down here that seems problematic. So this seems like a pretty good, there's this nice heavy-duty steel bumper here. Some junk in the back. Some Busch Light cans. My grandpa used to drink a bunch of Busch Light. There's a fiberglass bed topper. It's seen some better days. Not terrible. The wheel wells in the rear have definitely rusted out. There's some rust in the cab corners and stuff, but in all honesty, it's not too bad. And like I said, this thing shouldn't be... I should probably put this back in first. What's the shift pattern again? There we go. That should be first. This thing under the hood has a 300 cubic inch inline 6, also known as the Ford 300, and those things are pretty damn indestructible. It takes a lot to destroy them. I've always loved the look of these bullnose F-150s, though. And I don't know, just a cool truck. There's some other ones like it that are actually down over here in the farmyard I'm going to walk to. I'm going to obviously stop the video and stuff like that, but I'm going to walk down here and show you guys, because there's some pretty cool gems down here that you guys might like. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back, getting over here. So, ideally, there's a bunch of cool trucks that I would love to work on here, and I would love to, use for me to learn how to work on older vehicles, but also ideally restore. And one of those vehicles is this right here. Now, I know, doesn't look like much, a little rusty in places, I know, but this thing is pretty damn cool. Because it's an old F-250, and under the hood, it's got a 390, I think. I guess we'll find out. Oh yeah, she opens. Woohoo! Once again, farm truck interiors, absolutely gone. Oh, you can see too, it kind of sucks because this is actually a Ranger trim, and if you know anything about old Fords, the Ranger trims were pretty darn nice. All right. Let's take a look at this thing. So, ooh, jiggly, 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 jiggly. Ooh, that shift knob just... I stole the shift knob. I want to put that back on there. This thing needs some work. But, all right, here we go. So, ooh, yeah. Not actually sure what the shift pattern is because it's worn off, but let's see if I can... Okay, so I would assume this is probably first, then second, then third, fourth, and reverse. So a 4-speed with reverse. All right. And then there's your 4-wheel drive selector here too. So that should be 4 high. Sorry, here you go. 4 high, 2 high. Cut. There we go. Loosen it up a little bit. So that should be 4 low, neutral. That's probably 4 high, and that's probably... It needs to be lubed up because it's a little tight, but... So you still got the keys in it. No battery, obviously. Lock the keys in it. Cool old 70s dash. I'm not sure what era this would be from. I know it's a 70s. Where's the hood release on this, though? Looks like it's got throttle choke. Because, wasp nests. And, weather stripping that's falling down. I mean, she ain't perfect. But, yeah, okay. Let's see if I can find the hood release. There's the brake release. Huh. Let me know down in the comments what that's for. I know what it's for, and I'm curious if you guys know what it's for. Okay, so maybe I just need to reach under here and... Damn. This thing's a little stuck, apparently. Here, I'll set my phone down for a sec. Oh. Sure, that was good for it. There we go. I got it. All right. Booyah. I gotta get up in here now, somehow. Okay. Let me sit my ass down here. All right. So, what do we got under here? I'm told, if my grandpa's memory serves, that it's got a 390. Is there any writing here somewhere? Perhaps. Oh, hold up. Right back there. 390, baby. Yeah, it is a 390. All right. That's cool as hell. So, there's a lovely radiator fan here. Radiator that's not too destroyed. Whew, I'm out of breath from opening this hood. Jesus. A battery that's cooked, obviously. What else? What is that? Looks like an aftermarket pump for the coolant. Interesting. And I am told this thing had some issues when it was parked. Mainly it was like idling and running a little bit rough. Now, that could be a number of things. With older vehicles, usually what will cause that, you could have corroded or just bad contact with your points inside your Dizzy cap or distributor cap. Pop that off, actually. Take a look in there. Actually, I'm not gonna do that because I gotta pull the entire air thing off. In terms of what else is under here, you've got. Oh hell, that's all I'm gonna tell you. We got I don't know. In terms of other things though that could cause rough idle and just rough running issues, besides the Dizzy, the distributor, oh fuck, that's not going back on there. Oh, never mind, I got it. All right, we're good. Number of things. One, there could be issues with the vacuum advance, because I believe that's what that is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what that is. There could also be issues with, I have heard that the 390s, which are part of the Ford FE family, I have heard they have some issues with, I can never remember. Oh, push rods. The push rods apparently like to bend, and, you know, that could be part of the problem. It could also just be a fact that it's an old carbureted V8, and it needs, you know, some cleaner. I can't actually, oh, speak of the devil, I can. I was about to say I probably can't, but I can actually undo that. Look at that. Take a look at this. I'm not sure. Ooh, tasty. Let's take a look at what's under. I hope that doesn't fall. I hope I'm not foreshadowing anything there. So, yeah, so that looks pretty clean in there. Let's see. Carburetors. This thing is definitely... I definitely will probably have to do like a carb clean and stuff on this thing, because it's pretty grody. I mean, I don't know, there's a chance it's still, well, maybe. I'll try this, see what happens. It's not gonna pump fuel, obviously. You know, I don't know a whole lot about like carburetors when it comes to rebuilding them and that sort of thing, but I do know that it's something that you can learn. It's not insanely hard to learn. Got this mud dauber wasp nest on here. Yeet that thing. Bye-bye. You know, I don't know. I've heard most of the issues come from like in terms of carburetor issues, most of them come from more so like a lot of different what am I thinking of? I'm trying to think what I'm thinking of. Okay, forget what I said, but those look like that it's the factory Ford Motorcraft alternator. But I don't know, I know this thing is pretty darn cool, and it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to restore this thing. So I guess let me know what you guys know. What you guys, you know. Well, no, I mean, the first step, obviously, like this summer would probably only be getting this thing revived and getting it driving reliably and safely and getting it, like, you know, road legal essentially again. Oh, what the hell? Just drop it. There we go. I got it back on there now. This is a good one to throw. You know, now I know these F-250s would have came also with a 460 option, but at the end of the day, 460s, like, I'm not mad it has a 390. I mean, if you, to put it in perspective, 390 cubic inches does small sound, like, does sound small. Does small sound, God, I have problems. Does sound small compared to, like, a, you know, a 454 big block. But at the end of the day, 390 cubic inches is considered big block for Ford motors. And, Jesus, I can get this thing shut. There we go. And at the end of the day, these particular Ford motors are still, 390 cubic inches. That's only two less cubic inches than a 392 out of a Scat Pack or, SRT 392, whatever you want to call it. And those are 6.4. So this thing has got to be just on the cusp of like 6.4 liters, probably like 6.38 or something like that. But yeah, F250. It's not in too bad a shape, honestly. Once again, it's got some frame rust, but nothing that like actually goes, well, a little bit of cab rust, but like nothing that actually goes through. It's got some body rust. It needs body work. There's just a tarp in here. Yeah, it looks like the floorboard might have done a little whoopsie. But, that's where learning how to weld this summer too will also help. Maybe weld some new metal in there. Definitely got some issues there, but nonetheless, a really cool ass old Ford. I am a little bummed because I was under the assumption that this was a 79, and the 79 would have had the super cool Bronco style front face shift like that the 79 Broncos had. Because I'm pretty sure all the 79 between the F-150, the F-250, and the F-350, all of the 79 model year Ford trucks had that. I don't know, it sucks it's not like quite in better condition considering it is, it is a Ranger, considering that's one of the super high trims. I mean, there's like this cool stuff on the door, and you can see they would have been nice seats. Ooh, wasp nests. A lot of those around here. But it's definitely something that I would love to get revived and ideally fully restore at some point. In terms of other vehicles around here, there's an old swather there. There's a bunch of random stuff on this ranch. I don't think we're quite to the season for rattlesnakes, but I'm going to be careful around all this pile of stuff because getting bit by a rattlesnake right now is not something I have in mind. Now, this is actually not my grandfather's. This was my mom's brother's. But it's pretty beat to hell. Apparently it was parked because there was some engine issue and it needed a part that, like, my brother didn't have. It's pretty... not too janky. It is actually manual, though, which kind of surprised me when I found out for the first time because I always had the assumption that these OBS Silverados had that they were auto only. But no, this thing is a really weird, that feels like Play-Doh. I don't like that. I have no keys for this one though. And the back window busted out a long time ago from hail. In fact, I bet I'm not going to cut myself on that. But definitely cool. Ooh, another wasp nest. Those are common around here. I'm going to try to see if I can pull the hood release. I'm sorry, I don't, like, that's probably part of it there too. This is part of, like, I've never really, like, filmed this kind of stuff, so I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. Right in there. How does that work? I have to, like, push it. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what I have to do. I have to, like, push. Oh, there we go. Oh, geez. Yeah, so this thing was taken apart and just sat here, I guess. Damn, okay. So this thing's definitely would be a lot more work to be running and driving again. Not quite sure what's in this. I believe... Oh yeah, that radiator is just sitting here. Yeah, this thing's kind of a pile of junk. I believe my mom said... Because she grew up on a farm. She knows some stuff. And I believe she said this is a 305, not a 350. So I took her word for it. I don't actually know. I can't really see the numbers, but like this thing is undone at the... Oh, wait a minute. I'm a complete idiot. This thing doesn't even have a V8. It's a V6. I didn't even realize that until now. Yeah. There's only 6... There's only 6 header ports on that side and 6 on that side. Wow, I'm an idiot. I just talked about this thing pretending it was a V8. My bad. Lesson learned. Yeah, this thing is pretty beat up. But the body's not in bad shape. Like it's got a grill guard on it, and it needs some love. It's pretty abused. But it's cool, it's stick. Alright, now to continue on through the random ranch stuff. Old horse trailer. I love it out here. That's why I want to spend a bunch of summertime out here, since I actually have a vehicle I can drive down here now, because it's only about an hour away from where I actually live. So, it's not too bad. Still in South Dakota. Ooh-wee. Alright. Now, I'm too lazy to pop open the fence latch, so I'm just gonna hop over the fence and pretend everything's fine. Yippee. Alright. Cool beans. Now, in terms of cool old vehicles over here, there's definitely a couple. One that's pretty cool is this old... I don't know what year it is, but based on the headlight and like the body design, I'd say probably late 1970s to early like 80s. But it's a GMC Sierra 7000 V8, and under the hood it's got a just pop it like that. Holy shit. It's got a big old, well, not really big, it's still a small block, but it's got a small block 350 Chevy, which probably seems kind of small for, such a giant vehicle. But this thing's actually pretty cool because, well, one, it's got air brakes and it's got like a hydraulic dump bed, or PTO driven hydraulic dump bed. But if we hop up in here, kind of falling apart. My grandpa still drives this thing somewhat though. We've got a 5-speed, but it's actually a 2-speed. So you've got 5 like farm gears, I guess you'd call them, and you've got 7, or not, what the hell am I talking about, 7, and then you've also got, if you pull this little bit here, you've got an extra 5, which are your highway gears. So, first, second, or no, not that. God, okay. Bear with me. Okay, right there. That's where I want it to be. So we've got, yeah, so that would probably be low. Then we go over into second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse, which actually went into that, super nice. Then you pop this up and then you go back over. So pretty cool. Looks like the keys are in it. I'm not going to start it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of vehicles over here that I could learn manual on if I wanted to try, but no one's over here right now, so I don't feel comfortable doing that. And now we go over to another one of the cool, or I don't know, cooler 2 vehicles over here. Right there's another bullnose F-150 with a cow cake feeder on the back of it, also known as the feeder beater, as my grandpa calls it. And then there's also another like hay truck, because that's what that is over there. Is a designed to be a hay truck. Well, not designed, but that's what my grandpa uses for, is water hauling with that big water tank over there. And then of course hay. Wow, I suck at pointing. This is a Chevy Viking, and I don't know if it's a Chevy Viking 60 or if that's supposed to be a 6.0 for a 6-liter V8 that might be in this thing. I don't know. I can't get it at the hood because it's got this on here. But it's also a cool truck that would be neat to restore. Yeah, it's also got a 2-stage gearbox, looks like. Cool old stuff. And I believe it's also got a dump bed. Old Chrysler something or other. What is that? Oh, not Chrysler, actually. A Plymouth something or other. Plymouth something or other. I don't know what's in this thing. But cool old interior. Cool old radio. Cool old interior car smell sitting in the heat. This one, though, I mean, it hit a deer, so it would need some front end work. And it's just an old Chrysler anyway. It's not really all that cool. But this over here is pretty cool. This is an F-150 Custom. And it's definitely pretty neat. Zoom out a little bit. My bad. Also, manual. And it's got, I think, all right.